when you go to the STEP application page, the welcome page, this is what it looks like. On this front page, you've got, obviously, you start your new application. If you've been running through it, you'll get a passcode emailed to you. Down here on the left-hand side, there's STEP materials. It says the instructions, the key components for contractors and the key components for suppliers, your OSHA 300 logs. Those are all printable workbooks that you can do. So, and I suggest anybody who's going to do the STEP application, print your key components for either your contractors or your suppliers, because it gives you your points. And if you answer those incorrectly or just kind of wing it, you're going to miss some things that you need to know. There are certain steps that we look at. So this is each question, and the answer to those, you'll get your 12, your 8, your 4, or your 0 for the first question. To make sure that you qualify for the 12, you need to make sure that you mark every one of those bullet points for that. If you don't meet every bullet point, unfortunately, that knocks you down to an 8. But I don't particularly care for the way that this is written, because there's a huge jump between your 8s and your 12s, or your 6 and your 4 for your next one. But if you do not meet all of your bullet points for the 12, you do not qualify for a 12. So you have to understand that if you don't meet every bullet point underneath that number, you don't qualify for it. You have to go to the next one down. Even though you're probably overqualified for the next one down, if you don't, like I said, if you don't meet them, you can't use that number. So I'm going to start a new application just so y'all can see what it looks like from the get-go. And these numbers are, some of these numbers on here are things that you'll need to get from other people, because I know personally I have to get our man-hour numbers. Oh, I forgot to click. I'm not a robot, y'all. Remember to click I'm not a robot, y'all. So you're going to put your company name in here. Obviously, I'm Craig and Hite. You pick your state. Obviously, all of us are going to be Texas. And you hit the search button, it's going to go through and it'll tell you. So automatically, that's where we are. We're in the Greater Houston chapter. Click on that. So contact name is mine. My email address, because I'm the one that fills this out. We have signed the drug and alcohol-free workplace, and we are a part of the AQC program.
Melanie, if they have not signed the drug and alcohol pledge sheet, if they click no, will it auto-populate up for them?
So it'll auto-populate. It should auto-populate with the link to be able to sign that, because you have to be a part of that program and sign that pledge to do the step. So if you have not done it, if you click no, it should kick you either a link to click on or an email address that you need to type in to sign the pledge, because you're going to have to sign the pledge to go forward. You only have to sign it once. You don't have to sign it every year. It's a one-time thing. If you change, like, so we personally re-signed it with each new safety person we've had. So I'm our 3rd safety person in the last 8 years. So because it's your safety director or safety coordinator, whoever's filling this out is the one that signs that. You need to make sure that their name is on that pledge. So if you change personnel, you need to make sure that you re-sign the pledge to the correct personnel that's on there. Okay. On this one, you'll need to pick your category. I'm 237310 is what we are, but make sure you pick your one. If you don't know this, somebody in your office knows which one you are. If not, Amber can probably help look at past ones if you've not filled one of these out before, to look to see what category you were listed under. So on this page, so this is the email or the passcode that was sent to my email address to notify me that if I log out, I can log back in, but I have to use that passcode. So this one, when I do mine, it's representative of the entire company. Some of us do just locations. If you guys are nationwide and you're only doing for your location, you need to make sure you click that so that they know this is okay. So this is only the Houston chapter. It's not the entire company. Your annual work volume. You have to go to your treasurer or your VP in finance or somebody in finance to get that number. And you can't go forward with this from each page until some of these things are filled out. So, like, let's see. So that was ours for last year. So our insurance is not on here. The insurance company that we use is not on here. We use Adams Insurance. So you need to, if your insurance is not on there, you'll need to find to make sure that you list your insurance company. We do not use a step as a pre-qualifier for subcontractors under us. So these numbers here, how much work do you do? So make sure that your numbers are correct there with your work type, your proximity to the headquarters, and your percentage of the work that you do. The next page is your TRIR. For me, everything is 0 except for my number of employees. This year we had 40 total. So my total number of hours worked this year was 102,093. You'll need to upload your 300A. I do not have mine on my home computer, so I'm not going to be able to upload this. So we're just going to upload a file so I can do this, because if I don't upload something, it will not let me go forward. All right. And do the letters from A to H on your 300A match? Yes. So do they match everything that you put in these numbers? It has to match your 300. Remember that. If you have something here that's different from your 300, they will kick it back. So how long is your pre-employment safety training? You know, how long do you guys train? Ours is, I think, is 180 minutes. Our toolbox talks are daily. These for us are all yes. You'll need to read through them and make sure that you do. I mean, if you don't do this, it's something that you can look into and go, maybe we should do that. The key components is the next big thing. This is where you needed to print out your key components list from the page 1. If you didn't print it out, you can print it out here, but I'm going to tell you right now, the link to this is to the contractors, not to suppliers. Suppliers need to make sure that you print out that key component worksheet from the very first page before you ever start your stuff, because this key component worksheet is strictly for contractors. So just read it, and like I said, you'll need to make sure that you meet every bullet point on all of these to get whatever number you choose to get. Okay, so don't just go through and go, oh, we do everything without reading it. Read the workbook, because if you don't, you're going to either miss something that is something that you don't do that you can work into. For us, we do not get the top score because our process is a little different than everybody else's. So I'm just putting the numbers in here. Sorry, I'm just clicking numbers. Let's see. But once you go through this is the longest part for us, because I actually sit down with various other people in my office and go through this. This is not a solo worksheet for me. The key components is the next big thing. This is where you needed to print out your key components list from the page 1. If you didn't print it out, you can print it out here, but I'm going to tell you right now, the link to this is to the contractors, not to suppliers. Suppliers need to make sure that you print out that key component worksheet from the very first page before you ever start your stuff, because this key component worksheet is strictly for contractors. So just read it, and like I said, you'll need to make sure that you meet every bullet point on all of these to get whatever number you choose to get. Okay, so don't just go through and go, oh, we do everything without reading it. Read the workbook, because if you don't, you're going to either miss something that is something that you don't do that you can work into. For us, we do not get the top score because our process is a little different than everybody else's. So I'm just putting the numbers in here. Sorry, I'm just clicking numbers. once you've got that done, this particular sheet takes me about 3 days to do. So I have to log out and log back in. But we make sure that everybody in our office is on the same page, and we all agree that this is where we stand on our scores. Once you get that done, you go to the next page. Once you've got that done, this particular sheet takes me about 3 days to do. So I have to log out and log back in. But we make sure that everybody in our office is on the same page, and we all agree that this is where we stand on our scores. Once you get that done, you go to the next page. These, you can upload optional things along with your 300 A's from 2017 through 2020. You don't have to upload anything here, but I suggest that you do for additional documents. And your last and final step, come on. Your company executive signs off on this. I always sign Sam's name, but I have him, he and I go over this before I ever get to this page and make sure that he is on the same page I am as far as my answers and any questions that we have or any uploads that I do, anything.